What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, November 14th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the rogue one, Gary Witta.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I missed last week, but I'm here now.
And you had so much pent-up energy from that one, you're going to have double the excitement.
It's going to be...
Double that
primed,
British dry humor.
Primed to explode.
What's going on? I haven't seen you, I feel like, in a duck's age, Gary Witta.
Well,
What's happening?
I know it feels like a long time when I'm not around.
Yeah.
Time seems to drag, but it's just that 1 week that I missed.
Sure, but when you're not here, it's like there's no sunrise.
And
you know?
I didn't make it for the Extra Life either. I wanted to, but I didn't get... I was not able to get... I did watch a lot of it.
Thank you.
And I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it.
I appreciated the text in the morning that when we were talking crap about you, where you were like, hey, I was going to bring pancakes this morning, but we just decided to sleep in.
It occurred to me the reason why you called me is because I guess it spun up on the wheel, huh?
Yeah.
I guess that's a thing that can happen.
It does, yeah. It's a bad idea to give me your phone number. You never know what's going to happen.
I know. But I enjoyed the Extra Life stream, and you raised quite a lot of money as well.
We did, and it's continue to go on. Right now, they've crossed $75,000 donated. Remember, we are raising money for Extra Life through the end of the year. kindafunny.com/extralife. If you have no money to give, no big deal. You could host your own stream, raise your own money for Team Kinda Funny, and support your local hospital. Again, all the information is up at kindafunny.com/extralife. Yeah, I feel like I haven't gotten a good dose of you, but I did get...
Good dose.
I haven't gotten a good dose of Witta in a while, my cup of Witta. But I did enjoy a moment we shared.
I bumped into you randomly on the street.
I was walking to work one day, and there was all these little kids on a field trip, all holding hands, parents there.
My wife and I were
and I looked down the line, and there you guys were. The Witta's right there.
We were there.
Yeah.
And it was really weird, because you came up to me and you said, like, hey, what's going on? And I thought, oh, no, is this like some weird, crazy person?
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah,
it was you. So that was like you were sauntering. Had you just gotten off the bus or something?
Yeah, sometimes I catch the M. If I catch the M, it drops me off closer to the breakfast
you were
place.
Strolling up on your way to work.
Yeah, playing Ghostbusters.
Do you get recognized often on the bus or on the street? What's it like being
a fair amount.
An actual celebrity?
Well, no, that's not what I am. Internet celebrity is a very different thing. But yeah, there's...
But you are at the heights of internet celebrity.
I'll tell you what, man. It's me and that cat that plays the piano. It's all over that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The cat that plays the piano.
Piano cat.
You're aging yourself now. Keyboard cat.
Yeah, keyboard cat. That's what it was.
I used to have a keyboard cat.
He's got to be
t-shirt.
dead, right?
The cat?
Yeah. He was old already when that happened.
I mean, it's sad to think about that. Like somebody pointed out to me a while ago that the Yo Quiero Taco Bell Chihuahua
long
is
gone,
dead.
probably. Yeah,
just as a matter of like natural longevity.
Sure. Yeah.
Canine actuarial tables tell us
that's
that the
not,
Taco Bell Chihuahua is dead. It's sad.
It is sad. Yeah, I know. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Write in kindafunny.com/KFGD with your questions, comments, bad PSN names for a little while longer, and everything else under the video game sun. Then watch us record it live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight. For everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you. Next week is Thanksgiving. I can't believe it either. This year, Gary, where did it go?
What kind of... it has gone quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, incredibly quick.
It has flown by 2018.
100%.
What kind of schedule do you guys keep over Thanksgiving? Like if I'm sick of my family. Let's say, for example, I'm around my family on Thanksgiving Day, and I need to escape.
Right.
And I want to escape into the world of Kinda Funny. Is there going to be anything on offer like over the holiday
What a great
period?
segue, Gary Witta. We will be taking the week off for Kinda Funny Morning Show and Kinda Funny Games Daily. Okay. So no live products in none of those podcasts. However,
Kinda Funny Wilderness.
The Game Over Greggy Show, the Kinda Funny Games Cast, and Party Mode roll on unabated. You can catch those on your podcast services
there you go.
and YouTube
There's
channel.
There's
plenty of content up for you to catch. And if you're in the Chicago area, I am coming home for Thanksgiving, which of course means I'm doing a Portillo's meet and greet Saturday, November 24th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Bloomingdale, Illinois Portillo's on 134 East Lake Street. That's the Bloomingdale Road in Lake Street 1. You can come hang out with me again. It's going to be me, my mom who works at that location, probably Jen. Apparently Andrea Renee said she might come by because she's back visiting the Drakes. Saturday, November 24th, 1 to 3. Dapper Steven with a PH writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, I'm going to be in Chicago all next week. And when I found out about the meet and greet, I was in shock that it's only going to be 18 minutes away from where I'm staying. I've never been to a Kinda Funny meet and greet and was wondering what actually it all entails. Are we eating together at Portillo's in a big room hanging out? Is it just going to be a handshake and a hello? Am I allowed to bring my Vita for you to sign? I just wanted to have my expectations set and thought it would be best to reach out and ask. Great question.
I've often wondered this myself. What is the experience?
You've seen the images.
I've seen the pictures, but I can't believe that captures the essence of the experience.
Yeah,
of actually meeting you.
Sure. Well, see, that's the thing. When you go to a Kinda Funny meet and greet, it's like the Trojan horse thing. The real experience and the happy memories you're going to have is hanging out with the other Kinda Funny best friends.
Okay.
So you're going to go there and we're going to take over Portillo's. I assume you've been to a Portillo's. You walk in, even if you're eating in there, you walk in, you order at the counter, you go down, you pick up your food, and you sit wherever you want.
What is it, a hot dog place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been, I don't know. I've never been.
I've talked about Portillo's enough and tweeted about it enough, right?
But it doesn't really, having not been to one, it doesn't really stick.
All right, fine.
But it's dogs. Basically,
yeah, they got dogs and burgers.
That's their
tamales.
Specialty.
Okay, chocolate cake shakes.
And what is it about it that you like so much?
It's home.
You've associated yourself.
Oh,
with
it's home. I mean, I grew up on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Grandma Miller taking me there on half days. You going there with my folks. You know, going there with my best friends when we were growing up and stuff. Portillo's is home.
There's not one out this way, is there?
There's one in Anaheim.
That's as close
That's
as
as close as we can get. But you can ship it out here. I didn't know you've never had it. I'll get a shipment and I'll make it for you.
Ship some out and I'll try.
All right, cool. Anyways, though, the meet and greet, yes, go there. We're going to order food. We're going to hang out. You're going to hang out with all the best friends. It won't be just a handshake and a hello. I like to have a conversation, and I call touch tables, where I move to every table. I try to have a conversation with everybody. It all depends on how many people are there, too. But yeah, bring your Vita to get signed. Let's do photos. Come hang out and meet the best friends. Play some games. Bring a Switch. Play some multiplayer stuff. Get a Mario Party going. Why not? Let's have some fun.
I like it.
Plus, oh no. Okay, yeah, that's right. Then we've teamed up with ESRB and Penny Arcade for Join the Conversation. The ESRB and Penny Arcade are working together to start a conversation about video games, ratings, and how to make sure content is appropriate for all ages and interests. They want to hear from you, gamers, parents, and kids about how you use the ESRB ratings, parental controls, and other tools to create an appropriate video game environment. You can join the conversation by telling your story and enter to win prizes such as a $25 GameStop gift card, a free grand prize trip for to a 2019 PAX event of your choosing. How do you enter? Head over to esrbconversations.org. Enter with a story, tip, caption, photo, or video about how you, your friends, or your family use ESRB ratings and other tools to keep video games fun and age appropriate. The contest is judged, so take your time and be creative. You don't need to be a parent to enter. They want everyone to join the conversation. Enter at esrbconversations.org and get all the information and rules there. Hopefully win a chance to go to PAX and hopefully see us if we end up going to whatever PAX you go to.
What do you think they're trying to do there? Do you think they might be looking at revamping the rating system? Or
I think it's more about actually having a cool, fun conversation about how it all works together. I think so many of us take them for granted and don't read them or don't look at them, right?
But it sounds like they're interested in gathering information from people that use the rating system.
Sure. I think it's more probably the conversation, and an interesting point where like my generation, right, is starting to have kids and we've been playing games forever, and then moving forward, how do people actually tangibly use these ratings and make decisions based on them, right? So that, yeah, there's more word of mouth, I think, and more education in the fact of, well, I don't have kids, so I don't pay attention. But when the conversation does pop up with a parent, when I do go back and I'm talking to my cousins who have kids and they're wondering about how this all works, to be like, well, I know these people do this and they use parental controls this way, because I've never used my PlayStation or Xbox as parental controls, right? Like I've never gone in there.
The time will come.
Do you use them?
The day will come, my friend. Yeah, so our 6-year-old has a Xbox profile, but it's a kid profile.
Sure.
And you can set all the little dials and switches. And it's very granular. It's like, do you want to be able to chat online? Do you want to be able to accept friend requests? Do you want to be able to even go online with your games? You can set it just the way you want it. And every system does it differently.
You were telling me about the Switch too, that you have like hours you can set on it or something.
Yeah,
for her,
so
right?
there's an app for the phone. There's a parental control app for the phone, and it lets you. It's kind of similar to what the Amazon Kindle system does. Where they have Kindle free time.
I don't know. No.
Well, basically, you can. You can dictate the hours that the Switch is available to play.
Okay.
So like at 7 p.m., it will shut off.
Becomes a brick.
And it's really funny because my kid respects the Switch more than she does me. It used to be, hey, it's 7 o'clock. It's time to turn off the Switch. No. But if I just set the parental control and a little message flashes up on the screen, hey, it's 7 o'clock. Time to turn off the Switch. She just accepts it.
That's awesome.
It's very strange.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool story. Send in stories like that. Maybe you could come to PAX, Gary.
There
with
you go. I feel like I should write that in and I could
Just
win
break
a
out that
$25
video and do
GameStop
it.
gift card.
Today we're brought to you by Loot Crate, MeUndies, and Third Love, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 3 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
Number 1, we're starting with an Xbox Game Pass rock block of news. We're going to start with Rebecca Valentine over at GamesIndustry.biz, who says Game Pass leads to more sales. This is an interview with Phil Spencer. In a video interview with LevelUp.com, as pointed out by Reset Era, Spencer says that putting games on Games Pass... God, there's a buck for Andrew. Game Pass actually increases sales of the individual game. This seems counterintuitive, as the $10 Game Pass subscription gives subscribers access to any game on Game Pass without actually purchasing it. But Spencer says the reason is because Game Pass players effectively function as word-of-mouth advertising for the game, prompting those without Game Pass to buy it. Quote, when you put a game like Forza Horizon 4 on Game Pass, you instantly have more players of the game, which is actually leading to more sales of the game, he said. Some people have questioned that, but when State of Decay 2 launched, you saw if you looked at the US, at the NPD, you saw the game selling really well the month it launched on Game Pass. You say, well, isn't everyone just going to subscribe for $10 and go play this thing? But no, gamers find things to play based on what everybody else is playing. What's number 1 on Mixer? What's number 1 on Twitch? What's my friends list saying? What are people saying on Discord? They go everywhere to see. When these games hit something like Game Pass, with all these players, it instantly raises the awareness.
I mean, I buy that. I mean, it sounds logical.
It does sound logical, but it's that interesting question of... Not even a question. When we were doing the Xbox event on Saturday, XO18, and they popped up and said, Sea of Thieves is like the most successful new IP we've had, and it was like, well, yeah, but it was also free on Game Pass. Is that why? And then they clarified and said, no, it's based on sales, and there was this thing, well, like, how's that happening? What does it do? It is a great way, in the same way we've had the conversation that, us as influencers, us getting a free game code, right? Or us not having to pay for certain games, us then talking and evangelizing sells copies of that game, right? And us having an opinion about it, whether it be positive or negative, influences the choices of how people are. So yeah, It makes sense that, Forza comes out as a Xbox Game Pass, which is how Andy started playing it, because Andy was never going to pay full price for that, but he has Game Pass. He started playing Forza that way, really enjoyed it, tweeted about it, and I'm sure that motivated people on the fence.
State of Decay 2 with Game Pass. And I do have a comment about Game Pass.
Lay it on me.
I want to find out how to get off of it. Because
how to unsubscribe?
Yeah, I signed up for it, which they make... This is just so typical of Microsoft and so typical of many, many companies. They make it very, very easy to subscribe.
Yeah.
And they make it almost impossible to figure out how to unsubscribe.
Really?
So to subscribe, you do it all through the Xbox front end.
Yeah.
Real easy, no problem at all. To get off of it, good luck, my friend. Because we did it for a few months, and I was like, it's all right. I don't know. I don't think it's really worth $10 a month. I'm not getting a ton. Like, I looked at
You're not using it enough.
The most recent Game Pass offerings. I was like, whatever. Like, I already had Forza Horizon 4. I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Maybe there'll be a month down the road. I'll be like, oh, we'd like to have that.
Sure.
But there are several months where I'm just not getting my money's worth. So I thought, okay, I'll go to Game Pass on my Xbox and click some kind of button that says unsubscribe.
Right.
No.
That's not how it is?
No, my friend. So I'm actually going to ask the best friends if by the end of the show, if someone in your wrong can tell me how the hell to unsubscribe from Game Pass, I imagine it probably involves going to like a website
I bet
or
you
something.
go to Xbox.com,
or you've got to call a number and wait online for 6 hours.
You don't have to
you
call
don't know
somebody.
how evil these companies are, Greg.
I can't imagine
These companies
that.
are nefarious.
I understand.
They make it very easy for you to give them money.
Of course.
Very difficult for you to stop giving them money.
They're not going to do that for this. It's got to be Xbox.com, and then and I'm going off of how PlayStation does it, where it's like in PlayStation, when you sign up, or this is outdated information. Back on PS3, when I signed up for like DC Universe Online and other ongoing services like that, it was that you had to go into your settings, go down to your account settings, go into subscription service. Like there was a tree you had to follow to get, and I have to imagine it's like that on Xbox. Of like, what am I subscribed to?
I've looked around, and there's. Well, I figure it's one of two solutions. There is something buried in an Xbox menu that I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Or you've got to go to a website.
Yeah.
So please, you're wrong, best friends. Help me out here because I don't want to spend $10 on Game Pass anymore, and I can't figure out how to stop doing it. So somebody needs to help me because Microsoft are not being very helpful.
Okay. I'm sure you're gonna have an answer here in a second. Don't worry about it.
That's my comment. Basically, my comment was, "Oh, that's so great to hear about Game Pass. How do I get off of it?"
I really like what they're doing with Game Pass sales.
Yeah,
I need to get out.
No, but it's not for me.
Yeah,
it's not for me.
No, I hear you on it. It's a lot. I don't think. It's hard to get out of a lot of these things, right? It is made hard because they want you to.
It's hard to sign up for things, but very hard to unsubscribe for things. Sorry, easy to sign up for things. Oftentimes, because they always check they always opt you into the checkbox.
You're always into.
Please send me this. Please send me that, and you have to manually uncheck the boxes, otherwise you get signed up for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I do it a lot with Amazon when it's like, hey, we want to watch a movie. Well, it's free with your 7-week trial of Cinemax or 7-day trial of Cinemax. All right, fine, do it. And then I have to make the mental note of remember to unsubscribe for that. Otherwise,
it won't say to you within 7 days.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's not a countdown.
Your trial is up. Do you want to actually pay for this thing now? No, it'll just start charging your credit card.
I gotcha.
Corporations are fucking evil, Greg.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll take your money any which way they can.
Sure. Well, that's how they continue being corporations. Daylight robbery. Here's more Xbox Game Pass news for you, Gary. Xbox's Mike Ybarra says on Twitter, one of the biggest asks we've had for Xbox Game Pass was to allow preload (pre-install) so you can download and be ready for this. Be ready the second launch happens. It's available now and it starts with Crackdown 3 on Xbox and Windows. So another one of those things people have been wanting for Game Pass.
I like that.
So now here's my question about Game Pass and you.
Yeah.
You say you're not using it enough. Is it because you're buying games straight up or getting Forza early or something to that effect? Do you think it's a good service? It just doesn't fit for your type of life?
I do think it's a good service, and I think for a lot of people it represents a really great value. Mm-hmm. I think it might be that at this time of year, I'm just not seeing a lot of point to it because all the big games are out. Black Ops, Red Dead,
Tetris,
Spider-Man, Tetris. Oh my God, Tetris Effect! Don't get me started. All the Assassin's Creed, all these big. Our cup runneth over at home.
Of course,
with games.
Yeah.
So I'm not, even if there was something I might be interested in playing this month on Game Pass, which there isn't, because it's usually one good thing, like Forza.
Sure.
Or Crackdown or Sea of Thieves or whatever first party
Thief of
title
Thieves
is
just
in
came
vogue.
out too. That was one they did on Saturday that looked interesting.
But then it's a lot of junk.
Sure.
And so it's not always stuff that it's good. Again, it could be good value for people that are into that.
Yeah.
Or
games you missed or something to that effect, right?
It might be that come the dog days of summer, it could be perfect because again, you don't really want to buy anything. There's nothing out there worth playing right now, but Game Pass has got something for you to look into.
Yeah.
But at this time of year when there's so many games out there, and I've got Red Dead, I've got Assassin's Creed, I've got Tetris Effect, I've got Black Ops, I've got all of these games. There's no room for Game Pass right now, and I said, I already got a code for Forza.
Yeah.
So I'm, like I said, I'm taken care of, and I'm obviously not a typical case, but regardless of that, I think I am a typical case in terms of people that signed up for it, realize that it might not be for them, and are now having a hard time getting off.
Sure.
Because it does not make it easy. I'm telling you, it's buried in some goddamn menu somewhere, and I've looked. There's even a thing that says manage subscriptions. You'd think it would be there.
It's not there?
No.
Oh, no.
Best friends. Ride to my aid.
Yeah, somebody's already done it by now.
You think
by
somebody's already
now?
done it?
Yeah, we've got it. I'm breaking tradition. We're opening up You're Wrong right now so we can settle this and we don't get 400 more.
All right.
Here's how you do it.
Okay.
No, I don't want to update the it's like iCloud stuff here or whatever. Okay, first off, Mike says Keyboard Cat passed away on March 8th of this year.
Oh,
Rest in peace. DJ Kento gave you a link to how to do it on Windows Central. Illumini says you have to go to the Microsoft account and online to cancel your subscription.
Right.
Kebabs gives you step-by-step from windowscentral.com. Number 1, navigate to account.microsoft.com/services. Sign into your Microsoft account.
Are you hearing
Navigate
this?
to the
Xbox
Xbox Game Pass subsection of the page. Click Manage. Turn off Auto Renew. Select Confirm Cancellation.
So where am I going? Accounts.microsoft.com/services.
But John KUA says Greg was right. You can manage your subscriptions relatively easy via the account settings on Xbox.com after you sign in. Okay. So they're very much dialing you in.
I'm going to go to Xbox.com and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I had a feeling, but don't you think it's a bit pernicious though that companies will let you sign up for services via the Xbox UI, but they won't let you unsign up?
I'm looking to see if there's something in there. I'm not, again, I know how to do it through a PlayStation, but this is different, right? Everybody here is sending you to the .com. They're not logging you in.
I just think it should be as easy to cancel as it is to sign up.
There should be a big button at some point, right, of how you cancel.
There should be a button that just says, there should be a simple button on Xbox, on the UI, somewhere in the Xbox user interface that says manage my subscriptions, and it should say Game Pass, cancel Game Pass.
I'm going
or cancel EA Access, or cancel whatever
anything. Cancel anything you've signed up for. Yeah, that's 100%. You are correct.
They want you to forget about it, or they 100%. Want you to go, oh, you know what, this is too hard. So they keep getting your money.
Exactly. No, yeah, they want. Everybody wants there to be as many barriers to entry to you canceling and getting out, so that you don't do it. Or isn't
it funny how I don't have to go to the website to sign up? That's a one-button process. But if you want to get out of it, if you want to get out of the code, it's like getting out of a goddamn timeshare, Greg, getting off of some of these services. Have you seen that?
You got to sit through this presentation.
You got to sit through a presentation, you get a free set of golf clubs, but you are fucking hooked up for life. You're never getting out of that goddamn timeshare.
All right, I'm signed in. All right, so here we go. Oh, see, okay, so I signed in, right?
Okay.
On Xbox.com.
Oh, you're actually showing me how
then
to
you
do it.
settings,
Subscriptions.
and then you do subscriptions. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this is what people are telling you to do.
Okay.
This is like trying to help my, mom figure out why her printer settings don't work.
Oh, look, there it is. Xbox Game Pass.
There you go. See?
Payments and billing.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
So you got it. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's not that bad, but it is. I'm totally with you that it should be. If I can sign up on the machine, the machine should make it easy.
Cancel on the machine.
100%. I agree with you.
That's all I'm saying.
Gary,
that's all I'm saying, Kevin. I don't think it's unreasonable.
The final boss fight pops up and says, Greg, there is no word called cancelization. You've been using that a lot nowadays. It's just cancellation.
I like cancellization.
It's a Midwest thing. I'm stupid. It's going to happen.
I feel like that should be a word. You know, you can.
It is a living language. That's a great point, Kevin.
You can brute force a word into the language.
Oh, now hold on. Here we go.
Usage.
Zai, who I assume is Zyger, but maybe just Zai, says how to cancel an Xbox subscription on your Xbox One console. Select settings, account, subscriptions. Is that what you said? You said you went into subscriptions.
I went there and I did not see a thing that would do that. Is he telling me that I can do that?
Apparently, yeah. Choose the subscription you want to cancel and then press the A button. Under payment and billing, select cancel subscription and follow the instructions.
What is it again? Account?
You go to your settings, account, subscriptions.
Settings, account, subscriptions.
Choose the subscription you want to cancel and then press the A button.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna try it when I get home. Okay. If in fact it is that easy, I apologize to Microsoft.
At Gary Witta on Twitter. There'll be I want a mea culpa on at Gary Witta. Hey, on game. I'm old and don't know how to use technology. It turns out it wasn't that hard to do.
I'm sure Microsoft will appreciate me putting out a tweet saying, hey, I just canceled Game Pass. Here's how to do it. Thanks, Microsoft.
But it'll be you repealing how hard it was in quotes for you. You know what I mean? Gosh darn it, I'll tell you what. I don't even know. Do we have an Xbox One set up in here? Cool, Greg? No, actually, the systems are all
It's entirely possible that I've just been very stupid here and I've just wasted everyone's time.
Here's the thing.
That is usually what turns out to be the case.
You. I'm definitely with you in the sense of if I subscribed in the app or hit that other thing and did the thing, it would be way easier if there was a button there as well. Right. And maybe a page over or something of like, turn it off. Or I've definitely been there where I know that I'm signing up. I know they want me to forget. I've definitely forgotten where I sign up for something on Amazon or whatever, and it is, oh, crap, that auto-renewed. I didn't want it, but I knew what I was signing up for. I knew I was getting 7 days free. I know, blah, 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 blah.
I guarantee you right now, you are signed up for at least 2 or 3 things that you've forgotten about and don't use, but you're still getting billed for them.
You see, now, actually, I don't think I am right now because I went through recently in the last 9 months ago or whatever. We sat down and I actually went through the credit card statement of like, wait, what is this? Where is that getting drawn for? Cancel stuff. Got out of WWE Network. Did all these different things.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah, you do have to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2. THQ Nordic's net sales are up. Stick with me. 1,403%.
Isn't that because they now publish every game?
Exactly. James Batchelor has the story at gamesindustry.biz. The latest financial results for THQ Nordic show a dramatic increase in net sales, with earnings rising across the business. For the 3 months ended September 30th, the publisher reported net sales of, why did I say 300? I'm so bad at numbers lately. $139.5 million, a staggering year-on-year increase of 1,403% over the same period in 2017. The reason for this growth is THQ's acquisition of Koch Media and Deep Silver earlier this year, effectively doubling the publisher's potential revenues. Titles by this segment saw sales of $27.6 million, with the release of Dakar 18 and Pathfinder Kingmaker cited as key performers, even though the latter launched less than a week before the quarter ended. Even without Deep Silver, THQ Nordic's own titles would have driven net sales up 47% year on year. The launch of Titan Quest and Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, both re-releases of hits from the previous incarnation of THQ, were highlighted as particular successes, as well as This Is the Police 2. The firm also announced alongside its financials that it has acquired Goat Simulator developer Coffee Stain and Wreckfest studio Bugbear Entertainment. It acquired Handy Games earlier this quarter.
They just keep gobbling up everything, don't they?
They do. And there's a lot of questions about this. The 3-month period also saw THQ Nordic add even more IP to its portfolio with the acquisitions of Alone in the Dark, Kingdoms of Amalur, and Time Splitters, the latter through Koch Media. I can never say it right. Then IGN had this tidbit that the games industry didn't. During a Q3 financial report on November 14th, THQ Nordic founder and CEO Lars Wingfors shared that 55 total games were being produced by the end of the most recent quarter, of which only 20 have been revealed thus far. All right. 35 unannounced games still coming from THQ Nordic.
That's a lot of games.
THQ Nordic, obviously, a one that comes up a lot, Gary, because they keep buying things.
Every week, I feel like every time I'm on the show, they've bought something new.
Because they're crazy in a good way, apparently, of buying stuff.
Shopping spree.
And if you remember, when they bought Kingdoms of Amalur, there was, I needed to course correct, because a lot of people wrote in and like, are you going to change your tune now about THQ Nordic, Greg? Because I'm always like, what are they doing? How are they making money off of this? Blah, blah, blah. I want to be very clear again. I've never been against THQ Nordic. I've just never understood their business practices of buying up all these old IP and what they're going to do with it. How are you going to make money off it? Right. So I was excited for Kingdoms of Amalur because I love that and I want to see more, and I hope they figure out a way with EA to put Reckoning back out as remastered. Full stop on that. I've never understood how this is going to pay dividends on them and do it. I, of course, am not a business person, as you can see by their net sales being up 1,400%. Like, clearly they know more about business than I do in what they're doing in games. I was worried when they popped back up with, hey, we have the name of a dead studio or a publisher. Hey, we're picking up a lot of their IP. What does that actually do?
It seems like what they're doing is buying up a lot of games that aren't necessarily what you consider top tier games, but like just under the radar. They keep just kind of churning away, performing, making money. And they're all good earners, even though they're not, like, Kingdoms of Amalur doesn't strike me as like a AAA game.
Could have been. Could have been if somebody would have believed in Kurt Schilling and 38 Studios, but I digress.
And yet,
Rhode Island.
And yet, they're making all this money.
Yeah.
It's one of these quiet little companies that's just off in the corner by itself, not necessarily making a lot of noise.
And that's what gets me excited about what they're going to do.
Revenue.
What is going to happen? I still want to get Lars on here, right? That's the CEO. I followed him on Twitter. I need to get on this. I want to get him in here so he can explain this whole thing to me and show me the light. Midnight Owl writes in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, hey, friendos. THQ Nordic have announced that they have 35 unannounced games in development. With this news, I don't know whether to be excited or very worried. Reinhard Police is the publisher's business and product development director. He stated in an interview with IGN in October, quote, it's the games we loved in the past. We think they should still have a place, and we feel like it's sometimes such a pity that there is no game like that out there. So whenever there's an opportunity to get the original, we just grab it instead of creating something new. Whenever we acquire stuff, he explains, we really see it first from a game perspective. Is this something relevant? Is this something cool? Was it unique when it came out? Does it have a fan base? These sort of questions are very important to us, end quote. Back to Midnight Owl. This situation to me comes across as a fantasy. My brother and I always sit and fantasize about what games from our childhoods we would like to see return and what we would do if we set up a publishing house with an unlimited amount of money. When you bring it back down to reality, though, that is such a worrying thought. The joke is, quote, damn, we could have another X game that no one bought. Oh, look, THQ Nordic, end quote. But 55 games is such a ridiculous and frightening amount. My main reaction to that is that it's going to end terribly. 2 questions. Number 1, as a sensible person, is this a smart business move and could anything good come from this? Number 2, as a lighthearted, jovial person, what games from the past do THQ Nordic is reviving? In terms of number 1, is this a smart business decision? Apparently so. They saw money off these remasters that I thought, man, that's not a great look. Of course, this is their net revenue, not in terms of how much they put into it, how much these studios cost, what the acquisition was. Is it all netting out? Have they made their money back already on all these things? Who the hell knows? But they're seeing results right now. They're seeing returns. There is a market for these games that people are looking for. Yeah. So yeah, I'm still of the mindset of, man, it's weird to buy all these things and hope that you're going to turn around. But what I always talk about, right, is what are the expectations? What is the company's buying this? They're spending X amount of dollars on it. What are the Y amount of dollars they expect to make off of it? And apparently, it seems like their books are in line and they're getting what they're expecting.
And you know, as a gamer of a certain age, there's a certain amount of fondness for this.
Sure.
You know, if they are bringing back older games that I might have,
soft spot for,
feelings for, from the halcyon days of the past, and they're bringing them back. I'm excited to see what they might be bringing back. Oh shit, that's coming back.
And this goes back to what we always talk about when we talk about a press conference or a showcase or whatever, of the old Adam Boys adage that, cool, we're going to show you 12 things and we hope that everybody walks away with 3 things they really enjoy. right? Like you're not going to bat 12 for 12. I'm not going to give you 12 announcements and you're going to be like, I'm into every one of those games. It's the same thing with THQ Nordic, where they're going to bring back, Darksiders, and they're going to do a bunch of stuff that maybe necessarily doesn't resonate with me in terms of that, but then they're going to have a Kingdom of Amalur.
That's the thing. I guarantee they've got something that you're going to be excited.
Exactly.
So something for everyone theoretically. With 35 games, if they were to announce 35 games, what the 35 were, I guarantee you, it's a very, very unlikely chance that you would look at that and go, no, there's nothing here for me.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, they're throwing a lot of stuff at the wall here.
Yeah, and you assume a lot of it's going to stick, some of it's going to stick, but it will be enough to stick to justify these business choices. But again, 1,400% up in net sales.
But I like the sentiment. It's the games we loved in the past. We think they just still have a place. Absolutely. I like to see the old favorites come back.
And there's the argument that, okay, cool, you're buying up old THQ franchises from when THQ went bankrupt. That's a silly move. But remember, it's U-Draw that really fucked THQ. It wasn't that they invested in these AA, single A franchises that went belly up and nobody expected it. They were making games that people liked and had a fan base, but they weren't. They did these 1-2 business decisions over here screwed everything up.
Was U-Draw really that damaging to them?
100%. That's what killed them.
Bad news.
It's because that it was a huge success on Wii. Yeah. And they were like, let's put it out on everything. Make the U-Draw tablet for PlayStation and Xbox. And they invested in that peripheral stuff, and nobody cared. They just did not do, and that's what sunk them.
Okay.
On top of a few other little things. I save your wrong for later, but Lord of Pone says. Coke is pronounced Coke, and that's Koch brothers. I should have known that. And he says, YOY is year over year, not year on year. You can take it up with the gamesindustry.biz writer. They use both. That's why I'm just reading it straight from the page, sir. Time for the third one, and Gary, this might be for you.
I like this. Now,
you PC dork.
I like this next one.
Command and Conquer is returning. EA's Jim Vessella has more information on it. Fellow Command and Conquer fans, a month ago, we let the Command and Conquer community know we were bringing the franchise back to the PC, starting with a remaster initiative. The reaction from the fans has been amazing, with many of you sharing your favorite CNC moments from the past 23 years. We have been reading these comments and listening intently, and now we are ready to reveal our first PC offering and how your suggestions are already influencing our approach. Today, I'm thrilled to tell you we are going back to the beginning. We've decided to remaster Command & Conquer Tiberian Dawn, and while this is incredibly exciting on its own, we're also aware of how passionate the community is about the Red Alert universe. So, we will also remaster the original Command & Conquer Red Alert. But what about the classic expansion packs, you may ask? Covert Ops, Counter-Strike, and Aftermath. Well, CNC and Red Alert wouldn't be the same without them. So all 3 expansion packs will be bundled with the base games into one remastered collection without microtransactions. In addition to the excitement and support of this remaster initiative over the past month, there has also been a healthy skepticism that we can pull this off. How are we possibly going to remaster these titles while maintaining the authenticity of the original experiences? Bottom line, there is no better way to achieve this than to partner with some of the talented developers who brought these original games to life. So, after years of the fans asking for their involvement, I am humbled to announce that EA is going to partner with Petroglyph Games to develop the CNC Remastered Collection. Petroglyph Games includes many of the original developers from Westwood Studios and some of the most influential members of the original Command & Conquer development team from 1995. The list goes on. He continues to write, but that's the main thrust of this news story. This gets you going?
Very excited.
Yeah?
The Command & Conquer series is one of my favorites. It was a big back in the mid to late 90s when I was editing PC Gamer magazine over here.
Of course,
it was the shit. It was basically that, and there was a big battle going on between Westwood and Blizzard, who had Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, and StarCraft, and I liked both, but particularly Red Alert. Oh my goodness, the times we had playing that game in the PC Gamer offices. I loved it. I'll be very interested to see. I mean, it's very easy to see how they can remaster all the assets in 4K and everything's going to look great and all the units are going to look really good. Yeah. Because the thing is, you go back and you're like, how it's so pixely and so
what were we thinking?
So, what were we thinking? How did we ever play this? Yeah. So it's going to look great in 4K. I do wonder a little bit about the cinematics, because the cinematics were a big part of the original. It's going to be hard to remaster.
They had FMVs, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they had FMV cinematics.
Is Red Alert the one with Raul Julia?
I don't remember.
Kindafunny.com/you're wrong. Because I never played Command and Conquers, but I remember them being a big deal. I remember reading about them. I remember being a big deal on who they'd cast.
They had like legit actors in them.
Yeah.
And I remember Red Alert and Red Alert 2 were two of my favorites, and Command & Conquer, the original one, and Command & Conquer 2. After that, the franchise started to kind of go a little bit like, it kind of lost it with Generals, and some of the later ones, Tiberian Twilight, I think it was called, started to lose its way a little bit.
Yeah.
And now it's a mobile thing, and so people kind of think of Command & Conquer as just something from the past.
Sure.
So we were just talking earlier about how, games still have a place, and we like these older games. So I'm very excited. I enjoyed the StarCraft remaster when that came out.
Yeah.
But I feel like the more I think about it, Red Alert was always kind of where it was for me. In the PC gamer offices, we used to have LAN games. We used to go online and play. Red Alert was where it was at. With just one Tanya, Greg, who was that little unit, that little
how can I forget?
Little Black Ops unit that could sneak into your base. Well, how would you remember? You never played PC games.
That was a joke. Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I don't remember any of this. These are Raul Julia is my only touchstone.
You can have this unit. She was called a Tanya, and she would sneak.
It was Tim Curry. I wasn't even Raul Julia.
That's right, Tim Curry. That's right, very similar. And Carrie Water, and they had a bunch of good actors. John Rhys Davies, I think. All of those guys. Those guys,
Oh yeah.
And great strategy, great action. They were funny. They were inventive. They really kind of found that exact sweet spot of real-time strategy. I always think the West would really kind of nail it. I mean, they pretty much invented that genre with Dune 2.
Sure.
And ever since then have been at the forefront of it. Well, I mean, obviously not anymore, but for all through the 90s and the early 2000s, Westwood were really, I think, represented the kind of the pinnacle of the RTS world through Command & Conquer, and I have very, very fond memories of it. So I'm a little bit wary about revisiting it, because it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Rose-colored glasses. You're gonna go back like,
this isn't what I remember. But I did kind of a beta test of that with going back on StarCraft and enjoying that very, very much. The StarCraft remaster. I wonder if they'll feature that same thing that that StarCraft did, where you can press a button and instantly kind of toggle back and forth between the new graphics and the old graphics.
You have to be able to do that. That's such a cool
feature. Because that's how you appreciate just how much time has changed.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Westwood for, of course, making that Monopoly game I love that had online play that I played on the PC, and I was on Case Ladders at number 15.
Westwood made Monopoly?
They made a Monopoly that I played on PC, and you could make friend requests, and that's how you remember Case Ladder systems?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was number 16 or so in the world, I think, at Monopoly.
At Monopoly.
No big deal, everybody. Yeah, don't worry about it.
That's amazing.
Gary, I'm excited to see if CNC delivers for you and you love it, but it's still so far away. If I wanted to know what games we could be playing right now that came to the Mom and Grab shops, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. Chalk Dash Carnival comes to the Nintendo Switch. Fallout 76 officially releases on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The Long Journey Home comes to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. YouTuber's Life OMG Edition comes to Xbox One. Love Kami Healing Harem is out now on Steam. Then Nintendo Online, the service you're getting, should be adding today Metroid, Mighty Bomb Jack, and Twin B. I didn't have my Switch at my desk to confirm, but I saw it pop on Reset Era, but it was also them from the announcement, so I'm not sure. It should be there. Good God bless you.
Metroid being the big one there, obviously.
Of course, yeah. Oh, nobody's clamoring for Twin B. Probably Jared Petty, but nobody else. New dates for... No, I'm not ready for that yet. Xbox's November update is also rolling out today. It includes mouse and keyboard support for Xbox One, Xbox skills for Cortana and Alexa updates. Amazon Music app comes to Xbox One, and there's a search expansion. Nick Scarpino from the Peanut Gallery. What do you got? Get on Shock, Mike. Tell me what's happening.
Do you want Chipotle?
No, I'm good.
Chipotle?
You want some Chipotle,
I'm
Gary?
good.
No? Okay. New dates for you. Floor Kids is coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on November 27th. Blazing Chrome channels classic arcade action on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PC in early 2019. Astroneer reshapes PC and Xbox One on February 6th. Achtung! Cthulhu Tactics launches on November 20th, PlayStation 4 US, November 24th, PlayStation 4 EU, and November 23rd, Xbox One. R-Type Dimensions EX.
Oh, now you're talking,
The
Greg.
classic shmup will be launching worldwide on Nintendo Switch and Steam on November 28th, 2018, and the game will be available at a 20% discount, reduced from $14.99 to $11.99.
Ooh, I used to love R-Type.
Yeah.
There's another one that I'm glad to see coming back.
Shmups are great, yeah. I'm glad to see that keep going.
Yeah.
And then Dimitros is going to be released on Nintendo Switch on December 3rd. It's also available already on PlayStation 4, Vita, Xbox One, PC, and Steam.
What's the, just to go back to the top here. First of all, I'm actually quite excited about YouTuber's Life.
Oh yeah, you're gonna play some YouTubers Life?
Yeah. Well, I played it on PC.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I looked at it. It looks like what? It's kind of like a Sims game.
It's like a game dev story kind of thing.
Oh,
you ever
okay,
play that?
okay.
It's like an isometric view.
Cool. Great.
And
Can I get the trailer?
You
for
start up
YouTube?
you start up a YouTube channel.
Okay,
And you've got to
fair.
become. I mean, you'd be good at this because you could
YouTubers
actually
Life
apply.
OMG edition.
You could apply some of your real life knowledge as a top internet personality.
That's me.
I'd be interested to see. You should play. You should do like a party mode or a let's play or something.
Okay.
And give it a try.
But
'Cause
it's good? Okay, there we go.
It's fun.
Okay.
You know,
that's fine.
it's-
There's a place for fun games.
Here we go. We're gonna watch it.
We're,
right now.
we're at IGN.com watching YouTubers Life OMG edition Peggy 3. Oh, we're getting a 15-second pre-roll though. What is it?
No,
What is
you know
IGN trying to sell me right now? Lips? This isn't the game, right?
This isn't actually the trailer. No.
What's it's 9 seconds for this.
Comes to your favorite console the 20th. So it's a week from.
It's on.
Yesterday.
According to this, it's on Xbox today.
Oh, it is.
That's what I read it for. Yeah, out today. YouTubers Life OMG edition Xbox One.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. I
Razer
think.
Games. You play online.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not.
See, okay,
You experience there. Jesus. Okay, so I see. We're building up. We're building up our little.
Look, so you
greatness from small beginnings.
You can choose like what type of stream you want to do. Do you want to
Okay.
be like is it a cooking stream?
Oh hell yeah!
Are you a musician?
Playing
Are
some
you want to be
games.
like a streamer,
You live
like a
their
game
climb to
streamer?
fame.
Look, you can go. You can have
They're
like
VidCon
awesome,
there, yeah,
awesome
totally.
parties.
Oh, I love awesome parties. Cool, Greg. This seems like a game up your alley too. You know what I mean?
Become the most influential gamer. That's you. You've already done that in real life.
I lived it. I don't need to watch it, Dottie. I lived it. Grown to a chef.
Look,
though.
become
There
a
you go.
famous
Yeah,
chef.
yeah. Oh, look, he's getting
Become
the YouTube
the most
award.
successful
He's
YouTuber
getting
on
that-
the planet.
he's getting the button
he's
like
got the
we have.
platinum play button right there.
That could just be the silver button we have. You know what I mean? There's no saying. It could be diamond, of course, but it could be.
So I can see myself. It's
PlayStation
available
4,
on all three
Switch.
formats.
Xbox One.
I
Yeah, it
can
does say
see my-
November 20th there, so who knows?
I can see myself picking that up. I enjoyed it on PC, but I want to like sit back on the couch and play.
Sure, of course. Chill out.
YouTuber's life. And
Why
the other
not?
one, I wanted to ask you about Fallout 76. What's the chatter on that?
It's not. It's too early to tell. What happened is I played it.
It was out today.
I played 2 nights
Okay.
of the beta.
Okay.
And I was left with, I'm not sure if this game's for me, but I do want to play more of it.
Is it a departure from the previous
Well,
Fallout
of course, it's
games?
multiplayer, right? Like you have all these
Okay.
people in your world. IGN had an article up I started reading today where it was a guy being like, "Hey, if you play it single player, it's really like sad and lonely. Like it's like one of those you need to play with people."
Okay, so it's intended to be a multiplayer
It is.
experience.
They say you can play it alone. It's definitely intended to be a multiplayer experience. I had my code last night, but I was too tired, so I'm gonna because the servers went live yesterday earlier than they thought they
If
should.
I can scrounge up a code, I'll
I
give
get
it a
shit code.
try.
And then yeah, I definitely want to play. Like Andrea's getting into it too. I want to get into it. I'm gonna make my character today and then get into it tonight.
And
so I have
you're on
something to say in
PlayStation,
Gamescast.
obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Get me a code, and I'll play with you.
That's what I like to see.
All right.
That's what I like to see.
We'll
Gary
do it.
Whitta.
We'll get
Yeah.
in.
But yeah, I don't know. And so then it is this thing of there's a lot of people right now. If you go to like the Metacritic, somebody wrote in, we didn't put it in the thing, but if you go to Metacritic, like all the user scores are tanking it because they're mad at it for not being a traditional Fallout. But then there is like the how do you
So it's not
separate
like a
the real criticism?
story-based experience like the traditional
They say it
Fallouts.
is, but it's really I need to play it. I need to sit down and just play a few hours.
This is
of
why I
do that.
asked you because I don't.
But this is what
I
it
don't
is.
get what it is
Right now, well, it's a Fallout where you can run around in the world, but there's other people there, and so you are doing this, and you're sharing your bench, and all. We got to figure it out, Gary.
Okay.
Everybody's got to figure it out. We got to jump in and find out. I think
let's do
so
that. Let's
far the
figure it out.
scuttlebutt is, I would say, a lukewarm reception.
Okay.
I have not seen anybody being like, "Holy fucking shit, I love Fallout 76."
Which is rare because Bethesda usually are in the holy fucking shit business.
I know,
aren't
but
they?
they're moving away. But this also strikes me in I know we've talked about this recently with another game. Overkill's The Walking Dead. It strikes me as kind of like Elder Scrolls Online, where it launches and people are like, I don't know what this is, blah blah, and then maybe as content rolls out and they figure out
It starts to find its feet.
it finds an audience for it that way. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being too generous. I want to play it tonight and get a better feel for it, but I'm interested. I'm not excited. Does that make sense? Like I'm not like
No, that's how I am
"Ooh,
as
I
well.
can't
I'm
fucking wait to
curious.
play. But I like what I did play. I was like, this is fun, and I want to make my character look cooler, and I want to level up. Like it's got the hooks of Fallout to it, but then it's got like a different storytelling vibe to it because I am talking to other people and other people are yelling into mics and stuff.
Right.
I don't know.
Let's
Need to
give it a
play.
try.
All right, let's do it, Gary. We're jumping together, ladies and gentlemen. Deals of the day for you. Rainbow Six Siege is coming to PlayStation 4. No, I copied this and I butchered it. It's already on PS4, obviously. It's going to be a free weekend, though, November 15th and 18th, through the 18th on the PlayStation 4, if you want to jump in.
There's another game that just keeps on trucking along.
Exactly, right? And another game that had a rocky start that people were like, oh, whatever, and then found a community and went crazy. Time for reader mail, but first I'm going to tell you about our sponsors. First is Loot Crate. Do you know about Loot Gaming? It's a monthly subscription box delivered directly to your door with exclusive pop culture, collectibles, apparel, and gear. Loot Gaming curates and designs everything themselves. You can't find these items anywhere. Like that. Neither of us are using it. Metal Gear cup that I keep drinking out of, and then Nick started copying me and drinking out of the other one. I didn't realize there was two, and now he rubs it in my face that he also has it and likes it. Plus, we get all sorts of pins that Cool Greg loves. Correct, Cool Greg?
That's right.
This month's theme is Blade. Victory comes at the edge of a blade. Face your enemies with razor-sharp gear from God of War, The Elder Scrolls, Kingdom Hearts, and Assassin's Creed. These are items you can't get anywhere else, like the guaranteed t-shirt in every crate. It's $60 of value for less than $29 a month. This crate will sell out. You must order this week to guarantee yours. You can get the best surprises from Loot Crate. Subscribers are automatically entered to win each month's Epic Drop, a special prize that looters can win just by being a looter. This month's Epic Drop includes a PlayStation 4 Pro and God of War bundle. Subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/games, then enter my code GAMES to save an exclusive 30% off your subscription. That's lootcrate.com/games. My code GAMES. Save 30% off your subscription. You gave me the eyes there. What were you thinking?
No, I was reading down. I was ahead of you. I wanted to see what some of your other sponsors were. I'm interested.
Next is MeUndies. The holidays are here, and let me tell you something. I'm helping you right now. This is the perfect gift to give somebody.
You're not going to do the thing where you show your underwear again.
No, I did that on the morning show already.
Okay,
Nick touched them. You don't have to do it. But MeUndies, of course, is a great subscription. I love MeUndies. They're the only underwear I wear, but they make a bunch of stuff where you don't have to.
Is that actually true?
Well, 1,000% true.
You never wear any underpants.
I literally got my first. I sent away for. I had heard them on other podcasts. I ordered the MeUndies crate that came with 12 undies. Right, put them on. I was like, these are amazing, and I threw away my other underwear and ordered another crate of MeUndies, all with my own money. They did not give me free underwear. This is a real thing, Gary Whitta. All right,
I believe you.
But now that the holidays are here, every Tuesday they have a new holiday print, and they have lounge pants, and they have onesies. You can get a onesie.
I am in the market for some lounge pants.
These are the material that the underwear are. That's how soft they are. I see you wearing pants right now that aren't MeUndies lounge pants. You need to fix that.
Okay. All right, maybe it's more acceptable if I wear MeUndies lounge pants into kind of
100%. Are you kidding me? We would parade you around here like the king you are. MeUndies has a great offer for my listeners. For any first-time purchasers like Gary Whitta. When you purchase any MeUndies, you get 15% off and free shipping. It's a no-brainer. Get 15% off the pair of the most comfortable undies you'll ever put on. To get your 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/gamesdaily. That's MeUndies.com/gamesdaily. And finally, Third Love, the other sponsor. Third Love has an offer for all the kind of honeys out there. It's the perfect bra. Using thousands of real women's measurements, Third Love designs its bras with breast size and shape in mind, so they fit impeccably and feel even better. They just added the cotton collection everybody wants, so they'll be super, super comfortable. And you can skip the trip, find your perfect fit in 60 seconds online, order, try it on at home. No more awkward fitting room experiences. Gia loves her strapless ones. Her friends love the black lacy one. It turns out not just the boyfriend loves it. The woman loves it as well. And then Jen didn't love the one she initially got. She bought it too big, but Third Love's free and easy returns made it simple to get the right one. They take their customer input seriously, so you know they're listening to you when you say stuff. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, so right now they're offering my listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/games and find your perfect fitting bra today and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/games for 15% off today.
I'm thinking a lot about those lounge pants.
You got to do it, dude.
I'm thinking about it.
I won't lie to you. I need to pull the trigger on them as well.
Okay.
Because I have other non-MeUndies
and I can use
lounge
this
pants.
code.
I think so.
I mean, why?
It's a first purchase, right? Yeah. Well, I couldn't use it because I already purchased. You could use it. Okay. But I could use a different email.
It would be my first purchase.
Exactly.
All right.
Alex Y writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, "Hey, Greg and Gary. So my wife is taking a class called Storytelling in Video Games, and the teacher is taking requests for games to discuss. Awesome, right? This got me thinking. What are a few short but story-filled games that you would recommend to teach? Extra credit, haha. Best story-driven game of all time. Thanks, and let Kevin host." You're Mr. Writer. You're cranking out Book of Eli, Rogue One. You got your own comic coming up here soon, Oliver.
Oh,
what
yeah.
do
You better
look
believe I'll
to?
be pimping that when the time
Hell
comes.
yeah, totally, brother. What do you look to as, hey, this is if you're going to teach storytelling in a class, here's a great game that's like short, is what he says there. And then also, what's the best storytelling you've ever seen in a video game?
So, I think it's easy to think about the more obvious members of that genre, like the BioWare, Mass Effect type games, Dragon Age, and so forth, like big epic story experiences, the Rockstar games, the Red Deads and Grand Theft Autos, and of course the Telltale games, the Walking Deads of this world, all do very, very good non-linear, interactive storytelling, but traditional storytelling, like character dialogue, story develops.
Of course.
I think what might be interesting to look at is some of the less obvious examples of really good storytelling in video games, like Journey.
Sure.
Or Inside, a game that two games, for example, that have no dialogue and don't do any what I would consider to be overt storytelling. There's no narrative as such. There's no.
You have to piece it together.
Yeah, but there is, and a lot is left to the imagination.
Right.
And that is something that only video games can do. That through your participation in the game, you kind of become complicit in telling the story. And I think that Journey and Inside and Limbo and games like that are great examples of that. I also like the ones where you have to kind of piece together the mystery. I'm hearing a lot of really good things about a game from the guy that did Papers, Please. His new game is called The Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh, I have heard a lot of good things about this.
Which is this mysterious ship shows up in port. It disappeared. It came back. Everyone on it is dead. And you have to kind of piece together the mystery of what happened by talking to people and figuring out, the clues to the solution. So I think those are always good, like non-linear, non-traditional example. Like I think it's a little bit too easy to. If I were to teach a storytelling in video games class, I wouldn't necessarily look at Telltale, and even though I worked with Telltale, I wouldn't necessarily pick Walking Dead and Telltale and BioWare type games. I'd try to find less obvious examples of storytelling in games like Journey and Inside and things that have kind of what I consider to be kind of more ambient.
Did you play Subsurface? I had to look it up because I always screwed up the title.
Subsurface Circular?
Yeah, from Bithell.
I downloaded it. I haven't yet played it.
That's another good one of like you're having conversations and then piecing together the bigger story of what's going on, right?
Yeah,
Because you're like a detective robot talking to other robots trying to figure all this stuff out.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a really cool way to do it, right? And obviously, like you're saying, there's so many on the nose ones. I think one, obviously, Gone Home is one I would toss out, but one we don't talk about as much is 3/4 Home. Did you ever play 3/4 Home?
3/4 Home?
3/4 Home.
No,
Like you're 3/4 of the
one.
way home.
No.
That's a really good one, too, in terms of like you're making choices and having a conversation on the phone as like a storm approaches while you talk to your family. And it's short in terms of what he's looking for here, that a class could play it, it'd be cheap, and you'd get like, hey, here's how this storytelling works. Right. I would also recommend showing The Last of Us, and not even The Last of Us story, the Ishmael part of Last of Us. We want to talk about environmental storytelling, where suddenly I was in this world with Joel and Ellie, and I'm very excited about their story, and then I started finding more and more notes about Ishmael, where I was like, fuck, what's happening with him? And that was a story that's already done and completed, but I needed to know, and I didn't want to miss anything in that journey as well. Yeah. Which is a really interesting way to do it, where suddenly there's a B plot to this video game that I'm playing.
Yeah, that's a good example.
You don't see that
Red Dead does a great job of that kind of ambient storytelling, but if you just hang around the camp for long enough,
people come back and they talk about
stories will
done.
find you.
They will find you. Quincy Dawson. Let's talk about Game Award stuff. All right, Quincy Dawson, Game of the Year stuff.
Did you cover the?
They did yesterday, the nominees. Yeah, and that's where this question from Quincy stems from. On Tuesday's show, Andrea spoke about how the judges for the Game Award nominees must have played a minimum of 3 games in a category in order to confidently nominate a game. Do you think gamers who vote have the same obligations? For example, if I only play one game, if the only game I played this year was God of War, would it be unfair for me to vote God of War in every category in which it's nominated? Interesting question, Quincy. Of course, what Andrew's talking about, and I haven't had time to listen to yesterday's show, is that for Game Awards, if we get sent the ballot from Jeff, and it's like, hey, nominate games here. You can nominate up to 5. There's no ranking to the order of this for nomination period, and you have to nominate 3 games. You have to have 3 picks in these game genres to do it. Right. I can't just be somebody who nominates God of War and everything because that's all I played and walk away. Quincy, it'd be helpful if everyone who voted like, well, I'm only going to vote if I have this giant picture, but no, that's not how it has to be, because that's not what this is. That's not how the criteria are laid out for Game Awards and for different voting. Anything that's open to the audience, you understand that it's open to a wide audience and people can rally their fans and they can go do it and they can drive votes that way. I think it's when you get to Game Awards where the judges are voting, or an IGN or a Polygon or GameSpot where they have their own criteria for how they're judging. That's when you expect a vote to carry more weight than just an open to the public popularity contest.
I think when the vote carries more weight is when it comes from judges who have played a wide variety, like have played basically all the contenders.
Right.
Not just the things on the shortlist, but like how do you get to the shortlist? Well, you have to play a wide range of games to know which are the best ones, or your personal favorites. Like for example, I wouldn't feel confident being a judge this year because I didn't play God of War enough. I only played like an hour of God of War. I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah, I've heard this
I will
before.
play it, but it's not. But it wouldn't be fair for. I will probably abstain from. I know what my personal favorite game of the year is, but I can only go.
Tetris Effect. Don't tell me it's coming up in the next question.
But I haven't played Celeste. I haven't played God of War.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I played like an hour of God of War, but not enough to really consider it.
Hey, I know what's happening here. I know how systems work. And I know, yeah.
So I would probably, I think, rather than voting for just like your one favorite game that you played, if you only played Spider-Man out of that 5, of course you're going to vote for Spider-Man. But is that really fair to the other games? They never really got a look in because you never even played them. So that's a good question. I think letting readers, audience members vote is part and parcel of kind of the contract here, and people will do it, and we'll see what has the popular vote.
Yeah.
But I generally believe I tend to have a little more. I put a little more stock in the. They always say like
curated. You
know how they always say like, oh, this is the vote that means the most because it came from the public. I actually not to diss the public too much, although I'm about to.
You know how that kind of a sentence starts that way. You know what's about to happen.
All due respect to people, but they kind of suck. And generally, people, when they're just voting for like whatever their favorite game is, they're not putting the same kind of diligence in that. Like when I was a BAFTA judge on a couple of occasions, and that's a very rigorous process, and you really do have to play everything. And so that when you arrive at your decision, it's an informed decision. Yeah. I know that I think this game is better than this one, and this one because I played all 4. Not like, well, this one's the best because it's the one that I played. But oftentimes I think that's how people who arrive at their decision arrive there. Well, I like this one best because it's the one that I play. It's the one that I happen to play. And that's not necessarily fair on the other games, but it probably evens out. For every person that's voting for Spider-Man because they only played Spider-Man, there's probably someone voting for God of War because they only played God of War. But the main judges, the people that are actually kind of in the panel, are those who I think are obligated by the rules of due diligence to have played everything so that they can arrive at an informed decision.
Yeah, I think it's just like you're saying, it's part and parcel. Where are you getting it from? That's why I like that everyone does do awards, like for the most part. That like there is an IGN award and GameSpot award, and then there is the Game Awards, and there's the judging panel on the Game Awards, which maybe carries more weight than a general or a fan vote. There's enough ways to look and get a feel of it, but it's also
when Giant Bomb do their game of the year, I mean they do what they do like 8, 10, 12-hour podcasts.
They're crazy people.
It's a completely transparent process, and you can see just how much thought goes into it because they deliberate for something like 100 hours, and they have played everything.
Yeah.
So that when you arrive at their decision, you may not agree with it, but you know that they got there honestly because they really played everything and they really thrashed out every detail.
Speaking of getting there honestly, Paul writes in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, hey KFGD, with Game of the Year voting coming up and the nominees announced, how do you guys go about making your decisions? Of course it matters, the games you played and personal preference, but do you try to choose the game that is the best example of game making in a particular year, or the game that brought you the most enjoyment? For example, personally, I think God of War is a holistically betterly made game than Assassin's Creed, but I enjoyed Assassin's Creed so much more, and it's been one of the most fun experiences I've had with a game in a very long time. My decision is torn, so I'd love to hear how you all go about it. Thank you, Paul. Gary, when you do vote for Game of the Year, when you pick and I'm just saying your personal, not even voting on an official board or stuff, what are you looking for?
Well, as I said, there have been times in recent years when I've been asked to submit to judging boards and things like that, and I've recused myself because I said, look, I just haven't played enough games for my opinion to feel like it's worth as much as the next guys who have
to be
played
informed.
Everything.
Have this informed.
So I have my personal favorites, and I do think there is a difference between a game that I admire and a game that I like or enjoy.
100%.
Like I really, really, really admire Red Dead 2, but I've got to be honest with you, Greg, I'm not enjoying it that much.
Yeah.
It's a very, I think Patrick Klepek and Austin Walker over at Waypoint put it well. There's a lot of friction in that game.
Yeah.
It's constantly pushing back against you, and it's almost like it doesn't want you to enjoy the game. Like it keeps pushing back, and everything's really, really hard in that game.
It's a very particular game, right? They're making deliberate choices.
It feels almost more like a simulation than a typical Rockstar game. Like everything is so detailed, and many things are buried in like multiple levels of menus. Like I'm trying to figure out. I can't remember how to like put my saddle on a different horse. I have to go fucking Google it because it's like everything. All the controls are so complicated.
Sure.
And it's slow. I did a mission where I wound up in the middle of fucking nowhere without a horse.
Yeah.
And that was what the game it wasn't like I fucked up. The game design put me there.
Yep.
You're in the middle of nowhere with no horse. Whistle for my horse. Sorry, horse is too far away. Compare that to something like Assassin's Creed where you whistle for your horse and it doesn't matter where the fuck you are. It just
appears.
Your horse is there in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I get that's more kind of gamified.
Yeah.
Rockstar's going for a more deliberate, realistic presentation. 100%. So I'm in the middle of nowhere, miles from camp. It would take me hours, literally hours to walk back to camp. So now I've got to find some poor bastard on a horse and shoot him. I can't just walk up to a horse or run away from me because the animals spook really easily.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of friction, a lot of pushback. And I admire, there are moments in that game when I'm walking through the town. I'm walking through Valentine or whatever and thinking, my God, this feels like Westworld. Like I feel I know I'm in a simulation, but it feels so real to me.
And you can talk to these people and start a conversation.
I can talk to this guy and he remembers me and the graphics look beautiful and I admire the game so much. But honestly, playing it feels like a chore. So that would probably not be my personal favorite.
Right.
So it's always a combination of like Tetris Effect is probably the most I've enjoyed playing a game in ages.
Sure.
But as many people say, at the end of the day, it is still just Tetris. Now, I feel like to me that's a bit like saying, it's
still just filet mignon.
It's still just Mozart.
Yeah.
And it is the best version of Tetris I think I've ever played, even without multiplayer, which is a lot of people would consider to be a key component of Tetris. I want to play against you.
Yeah.
I want to send my lines over to you and shut you up to the top of the screen and have all that fun. Even without, I understand why they don't have that in this version of the game because it wouldn't fit with the synesthesia,
the
vibe
VR and the chill and the relaxation.
And the chill mode.
Yeah.
But like, it's become my go-to. Like when I have 15 minutes to kill, I want to play a video game.
Totally.
Tetris Effect is always on deck.
Yeah.
If I play Red Dead, I better be prepared to have
8 hours.
3 or 4 hours at minimum.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can't even save the fucking game. Like there are periods where it will really, there's no quick save. It will really make you like, no, you got to do a bit more before you can cash out of this particular play session. So all that being said, the games I've played, let me think. I've played everything except Celeste and God of War that's on the best of list. I played Red Dead. My wife's been playing Assassin's Creed.
Your wife,
she just got the 50s. She just platinumed it today.
Oh, well, I didn't see that. No, I saw the 150 hours on you play, and I was like,
she's played it to death. She just got 52 out of 52 achievements today.
Nice.
And she's still going around collecting up all the last little bits and pieces.
So much to do in that game.
She's a completionist, and it's a huge, massive game.
Yeah.
There are times when I'm watching my wife wander around in the game, just in awe of like, how big is this game? Like, how many people did it take to make this thing?
Yeah.
Like, it's just epically huge.
Yeah.
So that's a game that I both admire and can see how it's very enjoyable. I can tell you right now that if you put a gun to my head and said, pick your favorite game of the year, never mind about you haven't played everything or whatever, or the distinction between admire and enjoy, just do it now. Like, quickly, give me a game of the year, Spider-Man.
Wow, okay.
That would be it. Because I enjoyed it immensely.
Amazing game.
I admire it immensely. It was easy to get into, but it took it really, really challenges you on every level. Gorgeous game to look at. Made me feel like a superhero. I'm excited to get back into the DLC. Right now, Spider-Man's my game of the year.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean,
I know you don't want to kind of announce anything ahead of time, but
we talk about game of the year as soon as we start playing games for the year. So we're not that kind of organization.
So where are you right now? Now that pretty much all the big releases are out, right?
Yeah. Smash is still coming.
Okay, that's true.
This is something we've talked a lot about on Kind of Funny. Me personally in my career, the difference between best and favorite. In that when you're talking about like as a, trying to be as objective as possible, I think there is a difference where my top 25 games list of PlayStation 4 is going to be mine, right? But when I'm working on IGNs and we're collaborating, I'm going to give up ground and, move stuff around and understand why this is a tentpole. I'm lucky enough that this year for Game of the Year, both my favorite game and my best game experience, and I think the best game period of the year are the same thing, if that makes sense. Well, my favorite and the best overall are the same, and it's God of War. where I
Okay.
think God of War was just a complete package of a game in a way that I don't know if I've ever seen. It's so rare in the way that there wasn't a moment wasted in God of War. Everything had purpose and direction, and it's the antithesis of what both Red Dead's doing and Assassin's. I'm now 73 hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm going to platinum it. I've beaten all 3 of the storyline parts of it. Like I know, but I'm still playing it. I still can't wait to go back and do more with it. But it is that there is downtime where I'm checking my phone, where I'm like riding a horse, or I'm like I'm just fast traveling around to collect whatever I need to collect. Whereas with God of War, like the idea that the NPC in the boat's stories are so interesting that I get to the objective but wait in the boat to finish the story. Like that's just part of it. It was a game that when I beat, I went back and, platinumed it, and none of that felt like time wasted. None of the things they had me doing felt like busy work. I delayed, right? Oh, no, that was Spider-Man. I had a great adage when I reviewed Spider-Man. But like God of War's side stuff was so good because it was making me more powerful for the main stuff, but it also didn't feel like side stuff. I was doing stuff that was enriching the story I was already lost in.
I gotta get my wife to try it because she loved the kind of the slashy of Assassin's Creed, and God of War is obviously very slashy as well.
Yeah. So that's where I'm coming down for game of the year, but it'll be interesting when we sit down for Gamescast and have a real conversation about it. But I think, and granted, I'm well on the record. I'm with you. I totally look at Red Dead and get why people love Red Dead and get how it's a technical marvel and masterpiece. It's just not a game I'm enjoying, so I'm not playing it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
I'm so glad it's not just me, by the way, because
there's dozens of us.
I kind of felt like I put out a tweet that I was very nervous about. I was like, is it just me?
Yeah.
Or is God of War kind of like a slog? And it's like
God of War or Red Dead?
No, sorry, I'm sorry, I meant Red Dead. Is it just me, or is Red Dead kind of like a bit of a slog, and I'm not really enjoying it? And I expected people to pile on, like, oh my God, what are you, crazy? It was a lot of people going, no, it's not just you.
Yeah, no, there's definitely that undercut, and that's why it's gonna be really fascinating. Of like, this game got all these perfect 10s. Is it a shoe-in for Game of the Year? Or is it going to be that when you open it up and people outside of just the reviewers come in, there is this, well, the gunplay wasn't that great for some, and I'm not trying to push an agenda here. It's going to be interesting how that nets out and all that criticism.
This year, it's interesting, isn't it? Because generally, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but generally it feels like by the time all is done and dusted, there is usually some consensus around what the best game of the year is. Like usually, like in 2012, Walking Dead won everything.
Sure.
Right?
Well, Journey, though, gave it a run.
What's that?
Journey, though.
That's true. Journey did give it a run. But generally, at the end of the year, it's very rare to see like a big split decision. But this year, I feel like between God of War, and I think like as much as I'm personally not enjoying it, I think Red Dead's going to have a lot of fans. Plus, Spider-Man's in the mix as well. I think Assassin's Creed is probably more of a is going to fall off because people just go, as great as it is, it's just another Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. This is the Assassin's Creed. Somewhere around 60 hours in, it was that I had that real talk conversation. I'm like, fuck, is this my game of the year? Because I'm playing it and I love it. And it's like, no, I'm still with God of War. I love Assassins, but Assassin's giving me a run for favorite game of the year. But it's not going to catch up to God of War.
I feel like for me, Spider-Man delivered the most fun.
Yeah.
Red Dead is probably the most admirable achievement, but I'm not having fun with it. So again, it's your criteria. I think for all these reasons, all of these, I think all of the nominees this year, again, it's usually when you see the nominees, you go, okay, yeah, good nominees, but it's this one.
Yeah.
And there's usually some consensus.
And we're coming off last year, which was Zelda, where it was like, well, what's even the point of voting?
So exactly right. So, but even then, I felt like there was maybe a bit of a split with Mario Odyssey.
No, they didn't support me. That's what I wanted.
But Zelda was the clear winner. I wonder if this year we might see a bit, once by the time like all 150, 200 game awards have been announced or whatever, we might see a bit of a split where like Red Dead wins it in a bunch of places, but God of War wins it in a bunch of other places, and maybe Spider-Man wins it in some places.
Yeah,
I feel
it's going to be really
fascinating.
It's going to be really, really fascinating.
But I feel like given that there has been a little bit of a backlash against Red Dead, like people, there's a growing undercurrent of people like me going, this is great, but I'm just not enjoying it that much. I'm just not having that much fun. Are you with me on this one?
Oh, yeah. Kev's talked about it. Yeah.
I'm just not enjoying the game that much.
Are you still playing, Kev, or did you stop?
I have stopped,
okay,
but I do intend to go back.
You do?
How far did you get into it?
I got to New Orleans. I want to say like 30% of the story.
Okay.
30%.
I think I'm in chapter 3.
You're right around there, then.
Yeah, I'm right around there. I'm in chapter 4.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep playing it, but I'm gonna keep playing it out of like a sense of obligation of like, if I keep playing it, maybe it'll click. Like this is Red Dead. This is Red Dead was my favorite game of the 360 generation.
Yeah.
And I so desperately want to like this game that like, if it was just another like cowboy game that had arrived with no hype, I would have thrown in the towel by now. I said, this is not for me. But because it's Red Dead and because I so want to like it, I keep even though it keeps pushing back against me, I keep pushing. I feel like the game feels like pushing a boulder uphill, but I'm going to keep pushing until something clicks. Because I know there's I've met people that have gone all the way to the end and said, oh yeah, it's a great experience, great story experience. You're going to, it's worth playing to the end. So I want to do that. I just wish I was having more fun with it. And I'm so glad that it's not just me. Because
we're starting the support group.
I feel like I was going to be the only one when I first started playing it, and felt like it's so slow. Like movement is so slow, and everything is like hard fucking work.
The movement's slow, and I just find that I'm often either hitting things with my horse or accidentally shooting people. I think a lot of people are in denial of it. I think many years from now we'll look back and be like, maybe games should be fun.
Controversial opinion.
Yeah. I've never gone on the record because it doesn't click for me. I'm glad it clicks to so many people. Blah blah blah. I'll say it now: is that I wouldn't be surprised. that if in 5 years we look back on Red Dead 2 and it's kind of like Skyward Sword. Where at the time everybody gave it 10s, it was like, this thing's fucking and then you look back and you never talk about it.
It's one of those games where I think some reviewers are almost scared not to give it a 10 because it's like, but it's Red Dead, it's Rockstar, 8 years in the making, it's his thing, and it's nobody wants to be the kid going, the Emperor has no clothes.
Sure.
And I'm not saying the Emperor has no clothes in this case. I think many people are legitimately loving that game. I'm just thinking and I loved Red Dead Redemption 1, and I'm just trying to figure out what is it that.
There's the struggle.
They built so much deep simulation into it, and they made everything so difficult and such a struggle. And I get it. Life on the frontier was supposed to be hard. And if that's the point they were going for, great. But games are supposed to be fun first and foremost, and I'm just not having that much fun.
There's the struggle with it, I think, for a reviewer of kind of checking your biases at the door. Where I've seen reviews that are like, well, yeah, the shooting I didn't like that much. You can't run. That's okay. But then it is a technical marvel, and it is amazing that all these people have stories, and there is so much simulation, there is so much depth, and there are so many development systems at play. Even do you know Rami Ismail?
Yes.
Developer. He was tweeting about it, where he's just like, and I'm paraphrasing now, but basically him being like, I'm in awe of this game. I'm not enjoying it, but playing it, I understand why, like all the stuff that's happening and how the systems are working. It's like
it's possible to admire something and not enjoy it at the same time.
Sure.
Like I admired the Chris Nolan Batman films, but I didn't enjoy them very much.
Really?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm not mad. Somebody else. I mean, let's all admit it. Dark Knight Rises sucks. Terrible movie. Get out of here, Bane. You suck. Gary, it's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD. Give me your name, username, platform choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody has fun together. Today, Henry Hollaway needs help on the PlayStation Vita. He puts in parentheses, it lives. His PSN is HenrysAwesomest. HenrysAwesomest. Hey everyone! Who wants to dust off their Vita with me? The server shutdown for PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale has been delayed until January 31st, 2019, and I'm hoping to find some people to help me get the last 2 trophies to clinch this platinum, which has evaded me for far too long. Hit me up either through the PSN or DM me on Twitter at LateGreatHenry if you care to journey into the arena one last time before the servers for this underappreciated game are shut down forever. Thanks. Love you all. Henry Hollaway.
It's kind of a sad one, isn't it?
It is
it's
sad.
Like, let's get that achievement before the game disappears.
We call
forever.
them trophies here, Gary, and you know it.
Sorry. Let's get that trophy before the game winks out of existence forever.
Gone. If you want to go do it. Henry needs your help. You can get the spelling of it over on the YouTube video. Started opening the You're Wrong too early there. My brain kind of shut down. So we're skipping past the 90 responses on how to unsubscribe.
How to unsubscribe from Game Pass? I'm hoping that you really can do it from the Xbox, like they said. We'll see.
You better. I want to be a
If that is the case, I will definitely eat some crow.
Eat some crow. Okay, Zaire says new dated. Miss Splosion Man is coming to Switch on November 22nd. Gamer says a news piece I think is worth mentioning. The official Twitter account for Just Shapes and Beats just announced that an update is coming Thursday that will include 5 new levels. Thank you for bringing that late breaking news to us.
Were we actually wrong about anything?
You know how it is. People are mishearing things.
I mean, it's entirely
things.
possible I was hugely wrong about this Game Pass thing. In which case,
Again,
I'm glad to be
I don't know if you're hugely wrong. I'm with you that if it's easy enough for me to hit one giant button to subscribe, I should have an unsubscribe button that's large. Zaire says out today as well. Final Fantasy 13, 13.2, Lightning Returns are all backwards compatible on Xbox One. Also, deal of the day for Mario 64, Final Fantasy 13 and 13.2 are $10 on Xbox Live Gold. Oh, here we go. Ignacio Rojas says, Gary mentioned not remembering how to remove a horse's saddle. When you approach your horse, one of the prompts that'll appear is remove saddle.
Really?
Apparently. People are writing in. You said that you were in a place where you couldn't save, right?
Yeah, there are times when you'll go to the save page, and there'll be a little padlock on the save game icon.
I think people misheard that as there is no quick save in there.
No, there is a quick save, but you can only use it at certain points in the game. There are times when you're locked out of quick saving.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show, kindoffunny.com/KFGD. Watch it live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Watch it later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and listen on podcast services around the globe. No matter where you get the show, thanks for your support. If we did a good job today, consider going over to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and kicking us $1. If we didn't do a good job, go over and kick us $5 so we'll really get the message. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.